Our story starts at a world where you can see monsters roaming around. It's Junior Guardian Spirit Academy. The professor was reminding something to the class. He reminded the class that there was less than a week left before the admissions test of the Pet Tamer Guardian Academy begins. He urged students to use this time and prepare themselves well for examinations, and to get a good grade on the test in a week's time, and by passing examination they will be able to go to their desired college. By saying this much, the professor dismissed the class and walked away. Three friends were talking about how fast the time passed. 3 years passed so quickly, and now it is the examination for Pet Tamer Guardian Academies. One of the friends said that they should not even think about the 4 senior Pet Tamer Guardian Academy. In fact, they should think about how to get into any of the Guardian Academy. A girl was telling her boyfriend that she wants to go to the Senior Guardian Academy, while her boyfriend is worried that if he doesn't even reach the ordinary academy he will live like an ordinary and mere human. Then we are seen our main character Ling. He was sitting lonely at the last bench. He knew that only a week was left for examination, but thinks that he doesn't have any matter with that, as he was a traverse. He was traversed into this body just a week ago. By merging with the body he was able to see the memories carried by that body. This was a world where monsters are rampant, and humans can only survive relying on tall city walls. In order to fight against those monsters, humans have evolved by taming spiritual creatures, resulting in the existence of a special human profession, which is called Spirit Guardian. As the name implies, Spirit Guardian is able to fight against vicious and dangerous monsters in the wild by harnessing a powerful spiritual pet. Spirit Guardians not only can guard the human city, but can also open up places outside the city. For young generation in this world, they have only one biggest dream: to become a powerful spirit guardian. Every young person in the Federation is assigned a monster egg when he or she reaches the age of 18. By signing a contract with this monster egg, he or she can obtain their first spiritual pet. However, our main character thinks that it has nothing to do with him, because the original owner of the body has already hatched his first egg before he traversed, and the original owner has opened up a ugly, horrible, tough, and sturdy monster. It can't even walk, and can only jump like a small jiangshi, although it has an outstanding defense, but its attack is trash. And the most horrible thing is that the zombie pets can't evolve and are destined to be useless. Our main character thinks that the original owner of the body must have died due to despair. Some other traversers either have a cheat or overpowered strength, splitting the heaven and earth. But our main character is like a chicken mixed up with birds. Then his friend Chen Ji comes from behind and tells Ling not to think too much. Even if he can't take or fail the test, he can still be an ordinary office worker, and also it is great for that you will not have to go on adventures. Ling tells his friend that he doesn't have to comfort him, as he already acquired a wind wolf with high attributes and it can still evolve, and he got a small jumping zombie. Then a message appears in front of him saying that the spiritual pet has been chances with 100% growth rate, and it meets the activation condition of the guardian spirit system. He was very happy and couldn't control himself. He finally got a cheat system. Ling's friend shouts and asked him what he was talking about. Is he gone mad? Ling said that he is fine and nothing happened to him. His friend consoles him that he should work hard as he could and he will definitely get into a low-level Guardian Spirit Academy. Ling thinks that, as he has a system, however, he doesn't know its purpose, but a low-level Guardian Academy can't meet his needs. Hearing this, a bully guy sitting there embarrassed Ling. He said that with a trash and stupid jumping zombie, how can he even enter any of the Spirit Guardian Academy? It was Lu Wu from the second-rate Lu family. Ling's friend became angry and told Lu to not rely on his family's power. Ling stops him and says that there are only 3 first-class families in 5 second-rate families, so obviously Lu family's power was not ignorable. He tells him not to be impulsive. He will definitely go to the top Guardian Spirit Academy and beat Lu Wu, and we'll see what the Lu family can do to him. They both friends walk out of the class, Chenze telling the bullies trash. Lu Wu says he will top the examination. Ling and Chen Ji come out of the academy. Chen Ji tells Ling that he is going to the training hall. If he needs anything, he can come there. Ling hurried home and he wanted to check what the guardian spirit system actually does. Ling reaches home and sits on the sofa with his pet. He asked the system to come out and it came. This system helps the host to clearly understand various aspects of the spiritual pet's information. Also at the same time it can increase experience points of the pets, and the pets can quickly level up. Then he opens his stats. From his stats he opened the window of his pet. His pet was a black-eyed zombie. He was surprised to see something in his pet's window. It was an evolutionary direction. He was surprised to see that his little jumping zombie could evolve. As long as the spiritual pet evolves, it will increase its growth power. In this world of taming spirit, the growth power of spiritual pets is divided into 8 levels. They are trash, mediocre, common, uncommon, rare, epic, legend and myth. Till now, not a single spiritual pet has reached the highest level, that is myth. A trash level spiritual pet can go to rank 4 and level 10, while mediocre can go rank 5 and level 10, and so on. Only epic level spiritual pets have the opportunity to upgrade to rank 9 and 10. Higher the growth ability, the more talents and skills one possesses, giving them advantage. Ling thinks of his black-eyed zombie will be evolved. It will not stay trash, and if it reaches the myth level, that is a red-eyed zombie, then its power would be myth. Due to the system now, he can easily go to the top Guardian Spirit Academy. He remembers that evolution needs materials, so checks out what he needs for first evolution. Then the system says that no materials are needed for first evolution and also provides 2 available free points to the host. He finally pressed the evolution button. His little zombie started to evolve and finally it evolved into a beautiful and hot zombie girl. The zombie girl now can talk and tells him, "Master, the evolved zombie girl was too pretty." Ling wants to check how strong she actually is, as going to hunt monsters after all, so he opens the statistics tab of her. He saw that growth power evolved from trash to common and she even got a skill. She had a skill of bloodlust. When the owner fights against an enemy and causes damage to the opponent, she can recover from her own injuries, while significantly increasing her attack power. Although skill had a cooldown, but it had the advantage that it can heal injuries and provide more long-lasting combat power. He asked the system what he would need to obtain skill and talent points. The system says, by using the free points, one can add points to the skills and talent points. The system says that the host currently has only 2 points available. 3 points can not only be used to add points to pets' talent and skills, but also to upgrade the skills mastered by the hosts. The spiritual envoy possesses spiritual skills, which require learning to master them. In the current school only 3 spiritual skills were taught. They were spiritual chain, spiritual shield, and spiritual vision. However, our main character's spiritual power was too low and upgrading his spiritual skills could consume too much. It wasn't worth it for him, so he decides to add some points to the wide-eyed zombie. 3 talents were upgradable. They were magic damage reduction, high speed regeneration and berserker. All of these 3 skills were way too powerful. He has 2 points, so he upgrades high speed regeneration because as soon as spiritual pet doesn't die, it will continue to regenerate. Also a spiritual pet can suffer fatal injury, so it would be troublesome if it injures fatally, so she needs high regeneration speed, and then he upgrades berserker skill, so she can increase strength and speed by decreasing her health. If this skill and bloodless combines, she can restore her own health by attacking the enemy. She will become terrible if she levels up like this. Ling thinks that now he should not call her black-eyed zombie anymore. She has evolved. He touched her cheeks and felt that the skin had also become soft and like normal skin. Zombie girl asked what he was doing. Ling said, sorry, and tells that now she is able to speak, so he should not call her a zombie, and think of a good name. He says that from now on in future, he will call her Shuiyu. She liked her new name. Total 4 talents and skills combined. Now, his spiritual pet was much more powerful than other spiritual pets and monsters with the same growth power. However, In order to continue the evolution of Suiyu, they need to hunt more monsters. He then tells Suiyu that they are going to hunt monsters. The federation in which he was, it was not technology weak, but it was slightly different from previous generations of technology. Also there were vehicles such as cars and airplanes, but they were not powered by gasoline or electricity, but by spiritual energy. All vehicles were limited to driving within cities. Outside the city, there were areas where monsters run rampant, and it was dangerous. The nearest means of transportation is still cars, and if it is to shuttle between cities, the safest is still airships, because the Federation has arranged for a powerful Imperial Spirit Envoy to accompany the airship. As long as it does not encounter a large number of flying monsters, the safety of airships is basically guaranteed. In the Alliance, the only currency is the credit point. Just like money in his previous life, he hires a taxi to take him to the South Gate. The taxi driver asked him if he was a student at Tianhui School and says, "It is very dangerous to go alone at South Gate." Our main character says, he is a student and he is going to hunt some monsters. Basically it was correct, and it was really a very dangerous place out there. Tianhui City has 4 gates, east, west, north, and south. Each gate was guarded by heavily armed soldiers to prevent the invasion of monsters. Our main character thinks, now, he was not a useless person, so he can go there now. Ling reaches the south gate. The guard stops him and asks to show his ID card. Ling gave his ID card and then guard gave him permission to enter. There were low-level monsters around the city. High-level monsters were usually located far away from the city. It was better to be careful in the wilderness. He tells Suiyu to come out first. Fortunately, Ling was already prepared to take a look at the distribution of monsters near the south gate. Burial Mound was the area where the level of undead skeleton monsters was not much high, and they also find some evolution materials from Burial Mound. Ling and Suiyu headed towards the Burial Mound. The first evolution was given by the system for free, but now, Ling will have to find the next materials by himself. The next evolution of the Blood Ghost required 4 materials. They were Flawless Bone, Heart of Darkness, 10 second grade darkness crystals, and 10 dark blood essence, and in the Burial Mound, there was a chance to obtain 2 of these materials. One is the Flawless Bone and the other is the secondary darkness crystals. Suiyu feels something. Ling asks, what happened to her? She says, the undeads are everywhere. Ling said, they are here only to hunt the undead. But Ling says, why is he not able to see any of them? He says that he has checked the map and found that there should be skeleton soldier on the outskirts of the Burial Mound, and their strength is around rank 1 and level 3. Then to surprise, a skeleton hand comes from the ground and grabs him with the leg. Not only one, many zombies came from the ground. He tells Suiyu to kill all the skeletons. Then a screen appeared telling him about his first mission. The mission says that, if they kill 20 skeleton soldiers, and complete the mission, they will give 50% of the current spirit pet experience points. The reward was too good and not ignorable. It was directly 50% of the express. He ordered Suiyu to kill them. She killed all 4 zombies in just one blow in a speed of flash. He now thinks, he should not hesitate to crush them. Then after many zombies came out with swords in their hands, Ling orders Suiyu to kill them and don't leave a single skeleton alive. Suiyu jumps to attack them. There is a corpse poison on Suiyu's nail which invades the enemy's body as long as she scratches the opponent. However, it doesn't affect the monsters like skeletons, which were made up of bone. Although this group reached rank 1 level 2 or 3, but were still too far behind for Suiyu. She killed 6 skeletons in just a few minutes, but this pace the mission will be completed too quickly. The next group of skeletons appeared and Suiyu was ready to wipe them out. She ran towards them and killed all of them in just a blink of an eye. The mission was successfully completed by killing 20 skeleton soldiers. By obtaining 50% of experience of the mission, plus the experience gained from killing the skeletons, Suiyu was about to level up. Suiyu levels up by 1 and also gets 1 free point as a reward. Now, it was more important to level up Suiyu so he can get 1 free point to use on her. She has decent attack power so she can increase the magic resistance. So she can withstand magic attacks by her enemies. Thou Yeling saw on map that there were elite skeletons nearby and they needed to find them to level up quickly. After some time he found a skeleton soldier, who was going to attack the girl. She was Huo Xian'er, who was known by our main character, and she got ahead of him. At first sight he thought that she was going to take a skeleton soldier by herself, but all obviously, she wasn't take. She calls her pet Earth Dragon. A huge dragon comes out with the growth power of a rare class, and also Earth Dragon is among the spiritual pets with higher base stats. She ordered her dragon to stop playing around and kill the skeleton soldier. The dragon stares at the skeleton then crushes it with his tail. Yeling was surprised by watching this incredible power. Still the skeleton wasn't dead, so the dragon crushed it with his claws. The skeleton dropped a soul fire, which is the monster core of skeleton class monsters. Yet Ling thinks that the girl was really something. She even brought a soul bottle to collect soul fire. The Huo family, to which that girl belongs, was truly one of the three major families in Tianhui City. The girl appreciates the dragon, then she calls Yeling to come out, and there is no point in hiding. Huo Xian'er was the eldest daughter of the Huo family, and future heir of the Huo family, and also she was the dream girl of school. Yeling was thinking that she had reached the 7th level of the first rank at this young age, and he just reached the 2nd level of the first rank after more than half a year. The girl asks Yeling who he is and why he was hiding. Yeling respects and said he was just passing by, but Miss Huo Xian'er recognizes Yeling. She said that she heard about him at school, that he got his first contracted spirit pet as a zombie that was unable to evolve. She asks him what he was doing in such a dangerous place like the burial mound. The Ling gets a bit irritated and tells Miss Huo that it is none of her business and she doesn't have to worry about him. On hearing this, the dragon got angry, and he went near Yeling and roared loudly, which scared Yeling. The girl giggled and told the Earth's dragon to stop scaring Yeling. Yeling started fainting and his blood pressure went up. The girl says to Yeling that she just wanted to remind kindly that it is a dangerous place, it was not the place he should come to, and he should return as soon as possible. Upon hearing this, Yeling gets angry and tells that there is no need for him to go back, and further says that he is capable of taking care of himself, so there was no need for her to worry about him, and who she thinks she is. He said that if there is nothing else, he could take his leave now. He just made a gesture to him that he is stronger than before by telling her that he is no more that old trash. She gets irritated as she was making a kind gesture, but he didn't appreciate it. She wants to see what that dumbass wants to do with the burial mound. There were only a few people in the 3rd grade who dared to come to the burial mound alone, and Yeling was one of them, and he was one of the bottom of the grade. She wants to check how much Yeling can do there. Then she starts following Yeling to check what he was going to do with the burial mound. However, Yeling noticed her and thought about what she was exactly trying to do. However, he doesn't care about her. His priority was to increase his rank by any possible means. Then a skeleton grabs his leg, but after that not only one but many skeletons came out from the ground. It seemed that it was a trap as too many of them came out at once. Miss Huo followed Yeling and watched everything. She saw that there were 3 skeleton officers and a large group of skeleton soldiers, and Yeling was in big trouble. A skeleton officer jumps towards him and attacks him with a sword, but he dodges it. Then he summons Suiyu to help him. Suiyu got summoned there, and by watching Suiyu's beauty, Miss Huo gets stunned and thinks about how she evolved. Now, Suiyu starts slaughtering skeletons. She attacked a skeleton, but the skeleton defended itself with its shield, but Suiyu was fast enough and she quickly went behind and killed it at once. Miss Huo was stunned to see that she was too strong. 2 screens appear in front of Yeling. Both screens have different missions assigned to Yeling. One screen had the mission to kill 20 skeleton soldiers and another screen had a task to kill 100 skeleton officers. By completing these both missions, Suiyu will get a new outfit and also her level will be raised by 1 immediately. However, to kill 100 skeletons was a bit tough. Many skeletons rushed towards Yeling. By watching the Yeling finally decided to activate Berserker ability. He activates her Berserker ability. MANHUA, watching all these, thought that it was a little too bad. In an unexpected move, Suiyu started slaughtering skeletons in a flash of speed one by one. Yeling says it was the right time and activated the spiritual ability Spiritual Chain. He holds the skeleton with his spiritual chain and tells Suiyu to finish it. She was terrible after activating Berserker skill. She kicked the skeleton and it got into pieces of broken glass. MANHUA was watching everything, and she now thinks that her Earth Dragon was no match for Suiyu. There were still many skeletons left. Yeling ordered Suiyu to finish them quickly. She again started slaughtering skeletons one by one. In just a blink of an eye she killed all the skeletons. After killing them she came back to Yeling. MANHUA saw that the toughest skull of the skeleton soldier was pierced by Suiyu in one go. She never thought that Yeling, who was a trash, would become her biggest opponent to enter the top-level Guardian Spirit Academy. Yeling starts searching for all the skeletons if they dropped anything. After killing all the skeletons, nothing was obtained from them. He thinks it was nice if there was an auto pickup option. Searching was too troublesome. By thinking the system shows the message that if he reached rank 2 and level 1 successfully unlocked the option auto pickup. Yeling was surprised as he was still rank 1 and level 3, and rank 2 was far away. Still he was happy. Then he saw a shining thing near one skeleton. It was a flawless bone. Flawless bone was one of the materials Yeling needed to evolve Suiyu to the next stage. He didn't expect it to get first evolution material this much easy and quickly, but luck was on his side, so he was currently unstoppable. Only 2 materials were available at Burial Mound: Flawless Bone and second grade Darkness Crystal, which were going to help in evolution of Suiyu. Yeling and Suiyu continued their search for more skeletons. A few hours later, some more skeletons came out from Earth. We can see condition of Suiyu. She seems to be tired, and also by fighting this much skeletons, her clothes got torn from some places, but still, she was ready to fight more skeletons. A skeleton jumps to attack her, but she dodges and the mysterious black and red auras started to appear around her. Then the aura became like a fireball around her. Suiyu continued killing skeletons. She killed each skeleton in just one blow. Yeling was watching if any skeletons dropped any item. Just then a notification appeared, which showed that task of killing 20 elite skeletons was completed. By completing this task, Suiyu got 50% experience progress and a set of exclusive clothes. By adding this 50% now, Suiyu's EXP was increased to 80%. Suiyu was leveling up with incredible speed. Suiyu's exclusive clothes provided effective resistance against both physical and magical attacks. It also had the function of self-cleaning, and also it was indestructible, which meant that cloth can repair itself if torn. Suiyu's clothes were already torn while fighting so many skeletons. Yeling called Suiyu and told her to change her clothes, as the properties of new clothes were too good. She agreed and started changing clothes on the spot. Yeling loses his control watching this. Suiyu's appearance has now changed a bit. There were still some skeletons. Yeling told Suiyu to kill all of them and also try her new outfit. It was kind of fun on for Suiyu to kill skeletons. Also her new clothes had the function of auto repair. Now, the last skeleton was left. Suiyu killed it and her level increased by 1. Her level increased by 2 in a single day. She now has reached level 4 of rank 1, which was incredible. She also obtained 1 free point. Now, Yeling thinks it was enough, and also it was getting late. The monsters at night were too dangerous, so they now head off for home. Yeling lives in a beautiful apartment glowing with neon lights. Yeling was lying on his bed. He opened his statistics tab and saw that, in just one day, he and Suiyu went through big changes, and also Suiyu became much stronger. There were only a few days left for the academy selection, and our main character Yeling has a long way to go. In a few days Yeling has to hurry and fight as many monsters as he can to level up. In the remaining days, Yeling decided to call his teacher the next day and ask for leave, so he can prepare well. Yeling fell asleep, but on the other side of the big mansion MANHUA wasn't able to sleep. as she saw an evolved zombie that was match for her dragon. Second, she was practicing spiritual chain ability to become stronger using it. She was tired practicing but was determined that she will not lose to Ling by any chance. In the meantime, her father walks down there asking her that, why was she still awake while it has been late night already. Miss Huo tells her father that she saw an evolved zombie, but her father said that she must be mistaken, zombies can't evolve. Her dad told that, although the academy selection exam was important, but she should not put too much pressure on herself, just do her best. Her dad told her to stop training and go to sleep for now. We were shown the scene after 3 days. It was finally the day of the academy selection exam. All students had to reach the center of Tianhui City at the mayor's mansion. Many ships of different guardian spirit academies also reached the mayor's mansion. Shenzai, who was a friend of our main character, had already arrived there. He was watching everyone coming there. Then we are introduced to the mayor of the Tianhui City, Mr. Shang Lingkong. He was waiting for all of the representatives of all the academies, and it seemed that everyone had arrived. All representatives greeted the mayor Shang and started introducing themselves. First is the representative of Qinglong Academy, Lu Feng. He is rank 7 and level 8. Then comes representative of Baihu Academy, Bai Tong. He is rank 7 and level 7. Mayor asked if it was tiring for them to travel this much. Then came a girl. She was a representative of Xianwu Academy. Her name was Huo Ling, as her name suggests. She was from the Huo family in the Saint City. She was a rank 7 and level 7, and it was her first meeting with the mayor. She specially came here to watch the girl from the Huo family. Mayor says that the girl from the Huo family, who is giving the exam, was really intelligent and at the top of all youngsters in Tianhui City. Then we are introduced to another girl. She was a representative of the Guardian Spirit Academy. Her name was Hongxiu. Her rank was 7 and level was 8. Now they all move straight to the trial location where the examination was held. Now, we are shown the examination field, where everyone was waiting and there were a lot of examiners. Chenzai was there waiting for Ling and finding him. He thought that Ling already gave up on the election, as he was also not able to contact him for a few days. Ling enters and tells him to turn around. He tickled him asking if he wasn't late. His friend hit him in a friendly way and asked what he was doing for some days. He was not even able to contact him. He said if the teacher didn't tell him that Ling was on leave, then he would have thought that he died. Ling says that he is a strong guy, so how can he die? He was cultivating nowadays, that's why he was unable to make contact. His friend felt something different in Ling and asked him why it was like that. Ling says that it might be because he will be getting an offer from the top Guardian Spirit Academy. Everyone considered it as a joke and started laughing and saying that he should look his face in the mirror. A trash spiritual pet can't make him to the top Guardian Spirit Academy, and said that he would live like any other normie. Ling says that it is the last day that everyone laughs at him and no one will dare to laugh at him after today. His friend was confused about what Ling was saying. Now, it was about time for the mayor and representatives of the 4 academy to come. The mayor and the 4 representatives of the 4 academies came on the stage of the selection exam. All of the participants were really active, and the mayor ordered everyone to stay quiet. As the exam was about to begin now, the instructor tells everyone to listen carefully. The exam was about to begin, so he repeated the trial's content again. He says that the Guardian Spirit trial is split into 2 parts. Part 1. Surviving in the secret domain. All students who participate in the trial will be teleported to a fixed secret domain, and they will be attacked by level 1 demonic beasts. All students must survive for 3 days in the domain. Participants who pass the first part of the trial will continue on with the second part. Part 2 of the trial was combat. Students will be split into groups. Winners will advance into the next round while losers will impede in their corresponding groups. Anyone who failed in the first round, he or she will be only qualified to enter a low-ranking Guardian Spirit Academy. The more round one gets through in, the more time one wins. higher will be his or her chance to enter in a high-ranking spirit academy. The top 10 equally will have the chance to enter the top guardian academy. If not, the top 10 would at least be accepted in a high-ranking guardian spirit academy. Instructor reminds everyone not to push themselves too much for examination, or they will pay the price with their life. He says that life is more important than any other thing. If they are dead, there will be nothing left behind. A girl asks out of curiosity, does a candidate really die in this examination? Instructor says that there will be unexpected dangers everywhere in examination, so only they can be able to save themselves. While everyone was thinking about life and death, Ling was curious about the first stage of the trial. He got a new mission too from the system. The mission was that, if he completes the first recruitment trial of the Guardian Spirit Academy, he will get 3 spiritual power crystals. The first trial will have rank 1 demonic beast, so it will be very easy for Ling to complete this mission. A guy shouts telling everyone that the person who is at the very front of the line was Huo Xian'er. Miss Huo turned around to see who was shouting. Everyone tells that Huo Xian'er is a seeded player and several big academies were coming to see her. Everyone thought how powerful she actually was, but Ling thinks that he is much more powerful, talented and genius than Miss Huo. The mayor asked everyone to stay silent. The mayor opened the gate of the secret realm and announced that the first stage of the exam officially begins now. The instructor told everyone to move faster and enter the secret realm as soon as possible and find the best location. Miss Huo entered very first. Miss Huo Ling thinks that the young lady of the Huo family is really good and intelligent, but the Bai Tong said that, from his opinion, the last candidate who entered was a bit interesting. He was talking about none other than our main character Ling. Other representatives thought that teacher Bai Tong's eyes were really sharp, but admissions should be based on academic performances, so they should observe each candidate. Ling let everyone go. It was like the secret realm was specially for Ling to grind materials. Now, Ling enters the realm. The portal summoned anyone randomly. There were volcanoes, Greenland, Iceland, and desert, but everyone was summoned at random places. Some were summoned in bushes, someone in the river, someone in the desert, but the place where Ling was summoned, it was the top of a mountain and also it was a very cold place. He summoned Shuiyu first for safety. She got summoned there, and was looking beautiful although she was a zombie girl. Ling says that they should go down first. They started walking down. They were walking for a while but they had not encountered any candidates. Till then, not only that but also they did not find any monsters. It was weird. A bird flies above them. Its voice made Ling irritated. It was a steel-winged bird. Adult steel-winged birds were basically ranked 4, but fortunately, by its size he can judge that it was an infant. He orders Shuiyu to teach the bird how to behave. Shuiyu followed her master's order. She jumped and started beating the bird. He just got beaten a little and went away from there. Ling tells the bird a lucky guy as he flies fast or he would have been killed by Shuiyu. It was a pity that Shuiyu couldn't fly, otherwise the bird would have been killed. Ling thinks that flying pets were advantage and he will definitely get one next time. After walking a little, they find a cave and decides to stay there for a while. To survive in that dangerous forest, a cave was the most important thing. While they were settling in the cave, that steel-winged bird again comes there to annoy them. It was evening time, so they will have to deal with that steel-winged bird sooner, or it will not let them sleep peacefully. The bird was following them all the way. However, it doesn't dare to attack as it was afraid of Shuiyu, but his real target was actually Ling. He makes a plan to lure the bird. He comes out of the cave and tells Shuiyu to stay hidden for a while. He goes at an open place that he was visible to the bird and challenges the bird to attack him. However, the bird was smart and doesn't take the bait. The bird was truly a cautious beast. Ling decides to move further away from Shuiyu, so that the bird attacks. He starts running and birds also follows him. He reads the thicket, which was the most dangerous place in the forest, and tells the bird that now he should be ready to make a move. The bird becomes angry and threw his sharp feathers upon Ling. His feathers were sharp as knife, as also his name was Steel-Winged Bird. The steel wing bird indeed had some intelligence before launching its attack. Currently, he was just testing his chances, but Ling was already prepared. He uses his ability Spiritual Shield to dodge the attack of feathers. However, the feathers were too tough that he hardly managed to stop them. Then the bird itself launches an attack and flies towards Ling to attack with its beak. Ling worries as the bird's beak was way too strong, that his level 1 spiritual shield can't handle it. Therefore, he removes his spiritual shield and uses spiritual chain to hold the bird. He holds the bird tightly and tells Xueyu to take care of the rest of things. Xueyu leaps and uses his claw's power, then she cuts off the bird's head from its body. The steel wing bird dies and fell on the ground. Ling goes near and checks what evolutionary material he got from the bird. Surprisingly, he got high-level evolutionary materials. They can be sold at quite a good price, but he currently doesn't need money. He needs to level up second stage as soon as possible. He obtained the feather of steel wing bird, the talon of steel wing bird and the beak of steel wing bird. Its evolutionary material. He tells Xueyu that the neck meat of the steel wing bird was a high-tier ingredient and was usually found in 5-star hotels, but today they will have a culinary treat. He asks Xueyu if zombies eat raw food or cooked food, or they do not need to eat at all. However, Xueyu does not understand anything. On a large display, all the representatives of academies and the mayor were watching Ling. Representative who was from Huo family thinks him as quite an interesting student, as he never expected that a level 4 first stage steel wing bird can be defeated easily like that. Other 2 representatives think he has a rare humanoid spirit pet, so he will progress at good pace in future, and tells that having such strength at a young age in Tianhui City was quite impressive. Representative of Yuhuju Academy feels pity as they only accept female candidates. A guard comes there giving Mayor the information that he asked for. He told the guard to bring the information about the class in which Ling was, so he can also check Ling's data. The mayor was shocked by watching that he started coughing. In fact, everyone was surprised to see that his spiritual pet was actually a zombie. Everyone was in deep shock because a zombie pet can't evolve, but still his pet was too strong. Bitong was pretty impressed and was interested in recruiting Ling into Baihu Academy. He wants to recruit Ling and know all the truth about him. As Ling participated in the trial, they can recruit him and everything will be clear once and for all. Now, on the other side of the dungeon, a large python was resting on a cliff. Under that, Lu Wu was sitting and thought that he can pass 3 days easily. There is no one would dare to go there and provoke the dangerous poison-scaled python. If anyone comes there, he would be a fool to seek his death. He could pass 3 days peacefully if he hides there, his black viper covering his scent. Then he says that someone started a fire in the jungle. Lu Wu thinks that it is someone fool, as there will be many dangerous beasts roaming around. That person was none other than our main character Ling. He and Xueyu made a campfire to cook the food, but only Ling ate the food, as Xueyu doesn't eat food. He took a bite and was filled with happiness as expected from a top-grade meat. It tastes much better than a regular chicken. Xueyu was staring him as she doesn't understand anything, but she heard something. It was sound of rustling from the bushes. They were monsters attracted due to smoke and light. There were wolves came there, and Xueyu gets ready to fight. Ling was waiting for someone to show up as he wants to increase the XP and doesn't want to waste the night. It was a demon wolf king of rank 1 level 7 and some other wolves. Ling doesn't expected that it would be such a strong opponent to come first. He orders Xueyu to be ready for some midnight grinding. The Wolf King growls in the order wolves attack. Xueyu also becomes ready and starts attacking them one by one. While Xueyu was busy killing other wolves, the Wolf King ran towards Ling. The Wolf King leaped towards Ling and Ling shouts calling Xueyu for help. She immediately comes there and grabs Wolf King's mouth and stops him. At the same time, some other wolves come from behind to protect King. Xueyu was so fast and powerful. She hits the Wolf King and beats all wolves at once. Wolf King's one eye gets badly injured. Xueyu's skill was powerful and there was a combat ability gap too. Since she was rank 1 level 9 spirit pet, the Wolf King also activates berserk mode and was trembling with rage. The Wolf King runs towards Xueyu to attack her. he tries to hit her with claws but Xueyu was quick and dodges him. She leaped on the Wolf King and kicks him hardly. The Wolf King gets killed in one shot only. Ling goes near Wolf King to find what he obtained by killing him. Ling obtained Demon Wolf's heart and dark blood essence. It was one of the evolution materials he needs. Now, Xueyu was one step closer to the next evolution. Though outside the exam area everyone was discussing about yelling that, from which class he was as he was too strong, while someone says that, how can he be that powerful? As he was the one who contracted with the trash zombie. Also the instructor of the exam was surprised watching Ling's pet being so powerful. A candidate comes there injured through a portal. The mayor orders medical staff to treat the injured candidates quickly. Injured candidate begs to give him a second chance to participate in the exam. However, it was not possible at all. The instructor said, he got eliminated in the first round, so he can only be a normal person his entire life, but was as cruel as it was dangerous though. It was situation like that if anyone stays in the dungeon even for a minute, it will give higher chance to get into their desired academy. Now, currently everyone was watching Ling, as he was way too powerful than everyone thought, while Lu, the representative of Green Dragon Academy, says that he wants Ling for his academy, but Bai Tong tells him not to forget that he discovered Ling's abilities first. Miss Huo says, Ling was bit unexpected but his spirit pet was very strong. His spirit pet's attack power was not low and even had a certain degree of poison effect to them. The mayor calms down all representatives and tells to wait till the assessment to be over and watch out the situation in the dungeon. Ling and Xueyu leaves the cave, as it now had the Wolf King's blood aura, and so that place will be full of monsters soon. They start roaming to find a new place. While walking, Xueyu immediately stops and also tells Ling to stop. When they both turned around, they saw a candidate running away from a large python. It was the poison-scaled python which was shown to us before, and the candidate running away from it was Lu Wu. Ling was also surprised to see him running away like that. The python wake up from sleep due to the snoring of Lu Wu when he slept there. The python releases poison from his mouth on Lu Wu. He somehow dodges it and falls down, then shouts for help. Then he saw Ling. He was very jealous that Ling was still alive. He was a person who gets happy in someone's unhappiness, so he decides that if he was about to fail he will also make Ling fail. He starts running towards Ling and also shouts, so that the python follows him. Ling thinks, if Lu Wu was going crazy. When the python attacks and was about to hit Lu Wu, he jumps towards Ling. He then retreats by pressing retreat button, saying that, if he was losing then he will also make Ling suffer. He went out of the examination and retreated, and Ling dodges the attack somehow. The portal opens outside the examination area and Lu Wu falls there. A health consultant asks Lu Wu to treat his injuries, but Lu Wu refuses him because he wants to stay there and watch Ling die. Miss Huo asks other representatives if they think Ling will be able to survive and defeat the poison-scaled python, while Lu tells, is she joking? As it was not a steel-winged bird but a rank 1 level 9 poison-scaled python, but Bai Tong was too confident on Ling that he asks Lu to make a bet of 50,000 federal points on Ling's victory. Lu agrees to him and makes a bet of 50,000 federal points, saying that Ling will choose to run away. Then another representative also bets, saying that, knowing the opponent's strength, Ling will choose to run away. Bai Tong then asks Miss Huo about her choice. She bets that Ling will either be eliminated or will die. She was brutal. Then Bai Tong asks the mayor if he wants to join the bet, but he does not mind. His results will be known soon. The python continues to attack Ling and Xueyu. Even if it was Xueyu fighting the python head-on was not a good idea. Also, Ling's rank 1 spirit techniques were useless against a high-level rank 1 monsters. Ling decides to upgrade his spirit techniques rank. He upgrades his spiritual chain to level 2, only negative point of upgrading it, as that after upgrading it spiritual energy use will be doubled. With his current max spiritual energy he can use it only 3 times. Due to this disadvantage he will have to use it at the right time. The python sprays venom, but Ling dodges and also tells Xueyu not to be off guard. Xueyu leaps at python trying to kill it, but its combat ability was very good as expected. Ling tells Xueyu to be alert from python's venom as it contained corrosive effect. She somehow managed from venom, but the python also had poison gas skill. They will have to end this fight quickly, or it will be troublesome for them. Ling finally uses his spiritual chain ability, as he thought it was the correct time where it will be too late. The python gets captured in it and then he tells Xueyu to attack the python. Xueyu was already fast enough to deal with this. She pierces the python throughout from top to bottom and that's it, nothing more. The python was dead already. Watching this outside the examination area, everyone was shocked. The most shocked person there was Lu Wu. He thought Ling is a trash, but he killed the poison-scaled python. He was in deep shock that how a trash turns out to be this powerful. All representatives were also shocked watching Ling's level 2 spiritual chain. They think that he should not be that strong, even what if he is a genius. The mayor realizes Ling's potential and thought why he was not able to see the talent before in the academy. Bai Tong tells everyone to remember their bet and give him 50,000 federal points. Miss Huo admits that she was wrong and she will send her 50,000 federal points to him later. Currently, she wanted some rest and walks towards restroom. She thought about Ling as a kind of genius that appears every century and she should recruit him at any cost. She decides to report situation to the academy and get more benefits to offer. Ling got poison scales and poison python gall as rewards from killing python. It was another high-rank evolution material. Xueyu was about to level up soon. They just needed to find some more monsters and kill them, and then she will be at the peak of rank 1. Then Ling and Xueyu heard the sound of demon wolf's howl. It was the genius girl from Huo family. There were many demons wolves in front of her, and also there was demon king of rank 1 and level 8, which was same as her earth dragon, but the wolf king had many other advantages. The wolf king howls and all other wolves ran towards the dragon. The dragon roars and small wolf gets blown away. However, some of them were successful in biting him, but dragon was powerful enough to blow them. However, earth dragon was strong enough, but it was lacking strength. The girl decides to retreat or the results will be bad. She gets on dragon and starts flying to get away, but the wolf king leaps towards dragon. The dragon tried to fly higher, but the wolf king bites the dragon, and the dragon fell down. The girl was also worried about exam, but more than it, she was worried about his dragon. Even if she fails the exam, she cannot let her dragon die. Then she saw something killing the wolves in the speed of light. It was Xueyu. She killed all the wolves in just a few seconds. Huo girl was surprised to see Ling and Xueyu there. Ling asks if her stupid dragon was badly injured. Outside the examination, Bai Tong says, Miss Huo, that she came there specially to see the genius girl, but now it seems hard luck, and says that she might even use emergency teleport. Miss Huo was pissed hearing this and tells not to judge anything before the end of examination. Bai Tong says that he was there instead of Ling. He would have never helped her, as in the exam one more person means one more opponent. The Wolf King was angry and wanted to take revenge of his pack mates, who were killed by them. He activates the bloodthirst ability. On the order of Ling, Xueyu again starts killing wolves. She killed all remaining wolves, and by watching her power, the Wolf King starts retreating. Ling tells Xueyu to not let him run away. She runs towards Wolf King to attack him. The Wolf King and Xueyu leap towards each other, and Ling tells Huo girl to get away from there. Xueyu slams Wolf King to the earth. Once Huo girl was surprised by this extreme strength and was not able to believe that he became that much stronger to even save her. In just a month, Ling was busy checking Wolf King and was not noticing her. She was pissed off that even being campus beauty, he was not noticing her, and she will have to take initiative and talk to him. She tells thank you for saving her. Ling suggests her to leave soon, as the place was not safe, because the Wolf King's blood will lure a large number of monsters there, and it was dangerous if she stays there. Huo girl thinks that he was worrying about her, so she asks Ling to live together with her. Ling was confused and thinks that if he brings her along it will be troublesome and it will be best if he will be alone, but on the other side he thinks that it would be bad to just abandon her alone, as her earth dragon was badly injured. Huo girl thinks that he was not replying and thinking too much. if he was thinking her as a burden, so she says that she will also reward him for that. She says that once the first stage of assessment ends tomorrow, she will pay him 100,000 federal credits. Ling thinks it is a good deal because he can buy many evolution materials with that, so he agrees at that deal. She was pissed off in mind as he was making her no respect or attention as campus beauty. She thought him as a gentleman, but he gets agreed just after hearing 100,000 credit points. Ling goes near her and extends his hand towards her. She thinks that he wanted to hold her hand and thinks that he wanted to hold her hand and conform her. As he saw her earth dragon injured, she gets shy and tells Ling that they should not do that as they are not familiar yet. But to her surprise, Ling asked for the card with 100,000 federal credits. She now really gets angry. As he was direct and straightforward, she tells him that she came to participate in assessment, so she doesn't have that much federal credits with her. She says that she is Huo family's young lady and she will not forget to pay him. She says that it's just 100,000 federal credits and she will pay him once they get out. She then gets a bit arrogant and says that since they were still inside the dungeon and even if she works, there is no guarantee they can get out smoothly. But Ling was a cool guy who takes precautions. He tells her to establish a contract, then write her name and put her fingerprint. The girl asks him if she was that much untrustworthy, that he will have to do things like that. Ling simply asks her if she was going to sign contract or not. She finally agrees and signs the contract. She writes all deals she made and her name, then puts a fingerprint and gives it to Ling as a proof. Ling says that their contract was now final and he will protect her until tomorrow. After all, she was worth 100,000 credit points, but Ling tells her to wait as he wants to collect all materials from the corpses. After that they will move further. All representatives in the mayor are monitoring these on a large screen outside the examination area. Miss Huo tells Bai Tong that he will be disappointed that Ling helped Huo family's girl. Bai Tong says that it was her luck that she encountered Ling, or surely she would have been disqualified. Lu says that he never thought Ling actually would be so strong. Hongzhu says that she never thought that he will appear at the most crucial moment, and also she was surprised by his combat ability. Moreover, his spirit pet was way too strong. Then everyone's thought the mayor was sure that all four representatives were very much interested in recruiting Ling. Hongzhu moreover says that she took permission from principal to make an exception for Ling and recruit him, even though their academy only accepts female students. Hongzhu says that she used the advantage at the right time and will give a fair competition, while Lu was thinking why he was so much attracted towards federal credits. He thinks, as he was short on federal credits, that genius was being treated poorly. The mayor says that he is short on federal credits because he was not from very big family, and it's very normal. According to their information, Ling's spirit pet was only rank 1 and level 2. Lu was surprised hearing that Ling was not from a big family and his spirit pet was only rank 1 and level 2. Ling and Huo girl were sitting under trees and Ling fell to sleep. The girl asks Ling that how he became so strong. After the last time they met, it was not a long time ago. Then she realizes that he was sleeping. She goes near him and tells that she can't sleep, and also they are going to leave the place next day, so they will have lot of time to rest, and request Ling to talk with her. Ling says that there is nothing interesting to talk, so they better sleep and rest. Huo knows that Ling was short on federal credits and she offers him 5,000 federal credits if he talks with her. Ling cheers up and tells that he is ready to talk anything if he is getting 5,000 federal credits just for talking the girl. She says that 5,000 credits were nothing to her. Then she asks how he became so strong suddenly. And his spirit pet also does not seem to be a zombie. He thinks that if he tells her that he had a system that can let any zombie evolve, then it will shock the entire Federation, so it was better for him to not expose that secret. So he simply says her that Shueyu is a mutated zombie. The girl says that she is mutated but her combat ability was very strong, and thinks in mind that Shueyu was not a zombie but a beauty. She asks Ling that, his combat ability is rank 1 level 9, so it would not be a problem for him to get into Top Guardian Academy. She asked, if he decided in which academy he would prefer to enroll in. Ling says that, he has not decided any academy, but maybe he will choose an academy with lots of pretty girls. Huo girl calls him a big scumbag. After hearing this, Ling said, if she does not feel harsh telling him a scumbag, he tells that, since Miss Huo has eaten and rested, so they should leave now. The girl asked, why they should leave? As it would be better if they just wait until tomorrow for the exam to end. Ling says that, it is the time when all other candidates will be hiding and resting, so it was the time for him to hunt. How can he miss such a good opportunity? Ling and Shuiyu starts walking ahead. The girl thinks of Ling as a stupid and crazy guy, but still it was safer for her to stay with him. After walking a bit, they encountered some monsters. These monsters were demon ape of rank 1 and level 7. Ling was very happy watching them. He orders Shuiyu to attack them both. She attacks them and was so fast that, even the apes were not able to touch her. Even the Huo girl was jealous that, she was so strong and good looking too, and thinks that Ling was really a lucky guy. Ling orders and Shuiyu ends the game in a blink of an eye. The next morning finally the exam ended. Ling and Huo girl both got a pop-up screen that said that, they both successfully passed the first stage. Huo girl thanks Ling for his help, because without him she would have failed the exam. Ling says that, there is no need to thank him, as he only helped her for 1,05,000 federal credits, and also reminds her not to forget the contract of federal credits. Huo girl was pissed off as he was only interested in federal credits. She tells not to worry about credits, as she always keeps her promise and she will pay all of them to him the next day. Ling said, it was fine. Then he was leaving the dungeon first as he need to prepare for the second stage on the next day, and also he was so tired. The overall exam results come on the big screen and it said that, overall 82 students passed, 403 students were disqualified and 72 were killed. Some candidates were too much happy for passing the examination, and will be able to enter the Tamer Academy, and some were crying and regretting that, they were not able to pass just because they did not survive for a small time. When Ling came out of portal, his best friend Chenzai comes towards him running. Chenzai was surprised to see that, Ling did not got any injuries and thinks that, Ling must had run quickly. He thinks that, Ling failed the examination, so he consoles Ling that, being disqualified is fine, but it was good that he was not injured or died. Then Ling shows him the message that he got, which says that, he passed the examination, and tells him that, he is sorry to disappoint him but he passed. Chenzai was really happy and surprised to see Ling pass the examination. Then the city mayor comes there, congratulating everyone on passing the first stage and tells them to go back and rest, then prepare for the second stage. Everyone tells that city mayor personally came to see brother Tian as he was Academy's top genius. Then Tian greets city mayor. The city mayor congratulated him and tells him to prepare well for next day's examination. The mayor also tells him to say hi to his father on behalf of him. Then mayor comes near Ling and also congratulated him for passing the examination, and tells him to rest well and prepare for tomorrow's examination. Chenzai is standing behind Ling, was very excited, as he met city mayor face to face. First time. He asked Ling that, how he knows the city mayor. That he personally came to him. Ling tells that, he does not knows the city mayor, and he even himself don't know why he came to greet him. Ling tells Chenzai that, they will research about it later. First he should go to the infirmary for the treatment, and he is also tired, so he is leaving first. While Tian was surprised watching this and asks, who was he? And why did city mayor talk to him? His friend says that, he was Ling and his spirit pet is only a trash zombie. While Tian was jealous and angry at the same time and thinks that, Ling was not normal and he should take a look at his combat ability in the second stage. At night, Ling was at his home sitting on the sofa and feeling relaxed that, finally, the first stage of the exam was over. he thinks that, without the system it was impossible to enter a tamer academy at all. Ling hunted many monsters and obtained a lot of material, so now he thinks to sell them all and make some money. Also at the same time a message appeared saying that, his account got credited with 1,05,000 federal credits. These were the federal credits that Huo girl are owed to Ling. Now, this much money was enough for Ling to buy evolution materials for Shuiyu. He opened Shuiyu's status window and saw that, after clearing the first round of assessment, he completed a mission and as a reward, he obtained 3 spirit energy crystals. Spirit energy crystal contains some spiritual energy and each spirit energy crystal allows user to gain 500 spirit points, so that if each crystal gives 500 spirit point then Ling will have extra spirit point, so Ling will have 2400 spirit point. In total as of now, rank 1 tamer's spirit point limit was 1000, and it can only exceed after breaking through to rank 2, since there is no student in the academy whose spirit pet has reached rank 2, so Ling thinks that, second round of the assessment will be a piece of cake for him. After grinding whole night, Ling was now feeling tired and thinks that, he should treat himself a big feast, as now, he had a lot of federal credits. He also calls his friend for a treat as he was wounded. He also thinks to call Huo Xian'er since, he got so many federal credits from her. He thinks that, he should at least treat her a meal to express his gratitude towards her. At Huo Xian'er's home, she was bathing, in her watch rings, she picks up the call and asks who was speaking. Ling answers and tells that, he is going out to eat with his friend, and if she wants to join them. She became joyful by hearing that, Ling called her. She asked him to tell her the location and time. And she will definitely come with them. Ling told her to reach Brilliant Road at 1 o'clock, she confirms and tells that, she will be on time. Then while she was going to tell something to Ling, he hangs up the call. She gets irritated, as she was the dream girl of everyone in academy, and Ling hang up the call without listening to her. Now, at the restaurant Ling and Chenzai were waiting for Huo Xian'er. Chenzai asks Ling, if he picked up a wrong place or he secretly got rich, as he don't think they can afford food at such restaurant. Ling tells that, to celebrate the passing of the first stage of assessment and to recover Chenzai from his injury, they should eat the best today. Ling tells that, there are also one more person joining them. Chenzai gets surprised and asks, who is it? As Ling doesn't have any friends in the academy other than Chenzai, then a flying car came and stops there, and Ling said that, she is the friend he was talking about. Huo Xian'er walks down the car and greets Ling. Ling also greets her back, but Chenzai was surprised to see Huo Xian'er, as the friend Ling talking about. Ling introduces Miss Huo to Chenzai and tells Chenzai that, she is Miss Huo, but Chenzai already knew about her, as she was very famous in the academy. Chenzai and Miss Huo greets each other. Ling tells to go in, as he was starving. A guard immediately comes running to welcome Miss Huo. They all went in and sat on their table. Chenzai was very excited as it was his first time visiting such a high-class restaurant. Ling tells that, it was his treat today so he can eat as much as he wants, but Ling also tells that, he should thank Miss Huo for this. Miss Huo says that, there is no need to be so polite as it was just a reward he earned, and also she is really glad to be friends with him. Chenzai had nothing to do with it, as he doesn't know about the matter, he's drooling so he only focuses on the food. They all starts eating and enjoys their meal. On the other hand, at Tianhui City in Lu family, there was a meeting about Lu Wu's disqualification from the examination. All people of Lu family were asking Patriarch Lu to give reason and explain why Lu Wu can't enter the Tamer Academy, and also they said that, now, Lu Wu can no longer hold the position of young master of Lu family. Some people said that, now, Lu Wu should hand over the position of young master and pass it to a talented individual among the younger generation. Then a guy exasperates Patriarch Lu Yun by saying that, maybe after all this he will not let Lu to continue the position of young master, just because he is his son, and says that, he can't hand the entire family to a trash. Then the Lu family's Patriarch Lu Yun becomes irritated and says that, he made his final decision. Lu was crying and trying to explain and keep his position safe, but the patriarch declares that from today onwards Lu Wu is no longer the Lu family's young master, and that position will be inherited by a talented individual from the direct branch of the younger generation. Everyone starts appreciating the decision and says that patriarch is wise and he made decision as expected by everyone. Now, everyone in the family will be notified and someone from the younger generation will be picked for the young master's position. Lu was worrying and angry at the same time as he was nothing without the position of young master, and he will lose everything. He is angry on Ling and wants to kill him. The next day, everyone was waiting for the second stage to start. CatZilla tells Ling to be careful as the second stage of assessment was combat. He was worrying about Ling due to his zombie pet, but CatZilla doesn't know that Ling's zombie is now evolved to a stunning zombie girl. The city mayor appreciates everyone on passing the first stage of assessment and announces the beginning of the second stage. The city mayor says that, in second stage all candidates will face each other in combat, which will determine their ranking. He says everyone to demonstrate their full power and show their potential and strength to the academy representatives. The second stage of assessment would be randomized matches. The match ends when one of the candidates voluntarily admits defeat or has no ability to fight or gets knocked out of the ring. The ranking will be determined by the number of matches won, and also, if the opponent loses their combat ability and unable to continue the fight, you are not allowed to hurt them, otherwise you will be disqualified. But every year's assessment still has many cases of serious injuries and disabilities. Now, the city mayor announces the first round of random matches. First match of Ling was with a guy named Tian Chen. Ling noticed that he and CatZilla both were in the same round. Then lots of missions appeared in front of him. First mission was that every opponent defeated in the second stage of assessment will gain 10% express. Then second mission was that if he gets into top 20, then he will get 2 spirit energy crystals. Then third mission was that if he gets into top 10, he will be rewarded with 1-time body strengthening. Then fourth mission was that if he gets into top 5, then reward will be 10 growth rate. In fifth mission, if he gets into top 3, then the reward will be an unknown spirit egg, which will be flying type. Then at last in the sixth mission, if he gets first place, he will be rewarded with a new talent rebirth, which can be given to any spirit pet. And also there was a note that all the mission rewards can be stacked, which was unbelievable. Ling was also surprised by watching this many missions at once. Then the invigilator calls Ling to come at the arena 4, he goes there. While invigilator says that he should be careful, as if he doesn't respond within a certain time he will be disqualified. Ling was thinking that, how strong does Tian Chen will be, as he never heard of him before. Tian Chen calls his spirit pet long-horned armored rhino, and Ling calls Shuiyu comes out. Everyone was stunned by watching Shuiyu, as she was so pretty that no one can believe she was a spirit pet. Everyone says that she does not look like a spirit pet but looks like a human, but it was obvious that she was a spirit pet as she came out of the spirit pet seal. Everyone was thinking to have such a pretty pet like Shuiyu. Even one of the representatives was jealous as she doesn't have a pretty pet. Tian Chen was still thinking that Ling is a trash, and also he thinks that it is still his trash zombie pet, but he does not know the truth. He tells his rhino to defeat Shuiyu. Rhino attacks towards Shuiyu. It was the worst idea to use brute strength against Shuiyu. Then Ling tells Shuiyu to show her real strength. Destroy rhino without mercy. Shuiyu follows the orders of Ling, and it was very easy for her to stop the rhino. Even Tian Chen was surprised that Shuiyu easily stopped the rhino from attacking. Ling tells Shuiyu to finish it quickly as he was getting bored. She just shows her real strength and lifts up the rhino from its horn. It was just a child's play for her to lift up the rhino. No one was able to believe on her strength and thinks that she must be humanoid form of a beast. She easily picks up rhino and threw it as a toy and defeated it. Invigilator announces that first match in arena number 4 was won by Ling, and he will advance to the next round, while Tian Chen will be eliminated and will enter the rankings. Tian Chen was in shock that how did he got defeated by a trash. On this Ling said that No one stays trash forever. As long as one works hard, he can make a comeback. As told in Mission 1, he defeated his first opponent in the second stage of assessment and gained 10% XP. After that, Xueyu also got leveled up to level 10 and also got one Undi's tribute point. Then one by one all the winners in different arenas were announced, in which CatZilla also won in his arena. After the last match, Xueyu had successfully leveled up to rank 1 level 10. Whenever a spirit pet breaks through to the next level, the tamer's physique will become stronger. Since now, Xueyu has reached rank 1 level 10. Just if it gains one more level, Yeling will be able to contract his second spirit pet. Then CatZilla comes near Yeling in a badly injured position. Seeing on his current condition, it was hard for him to fight in the next round, but CatZilla was hoping that maybe his opponent will be more wounded than him. The city mayor finally declares the end of the first round and says that all the children of the big families in Tianhu City have performed well. Miss Huo says that after all, the big family's children admission into higher rank academy depends on the number of times their family can enter the dungeon, which in turn affects the development of their family. Another representative is curious as the situation will get more intense from here on. Now, the city mayor announces to begin the second round to determine the top 21. Yeling's next matchup was with Feng Haotian. He is from one of the big families. Yeling tells CatZilla that he passed the first round and he is injured, so take the second round easy. CatZilla is just little pitiful and tells Yeling good luck, and tells that he is really a dark horse. Yeling smiles on his compliment, but Feng Haotian is also a person who cannot be underestimated, as he comes from one of the big families. Yeling and Feng Haotian both came in the arena. Feng Haotian underestimates Yeling and says that his performance in the first round was not bad, but he was still too weak for him. He mocks Yeling that he should surrender quickly if he doesn't want to get seriously injured. Yeling said that he will take the chance as the victor will be decided only after the fight. Fang family's patriarch thinks that it was a good luck for Haotian as he didn't encounter the children of the three great families, and thinks that he will win easily. Haotian calls out his spirit pet Green Bird, which is a flying type spirit pet. He climbs on his spirit pet and tells Yeling not to blame him for not showing mercy. Yeling was a bit upset, as the opponent was a flying type spirit pet, which is a bit troublesome for Xueyu to deal with. He tells Xueyu to wait for the right time to strike. Haotian tells Green Bird to wing fire. It was obviously a great move to end battle with Yeling quickly, but it was of no use as Yeling uses spirit shield. Everyone was cheering for Haotian and tells that it is impossible for Yeling to deal with the kid from Feng family, while his father boasts that his son will not lose to a nameless guy. Yeling tells Xueyu to use blood fog. She uses her ability blood fog and arena got covered with the red fog. Haotian orders his Green Bird to rush over and blow away the fog. It was the time Yeling was waiting for. While the Green Bird was rush over, Yeling uses his spirit energy chain, and while Green Bird gets in the trap of spirit chain, Yeling tells Xueyu to attack it. No matter how well he can fly, it was impossible for Green Bird to get away because Yeling had the level 2 spirit chain, which was way too strong. Yeling tells Xueyu to finish it quick and smashes the Green Bird on the ground. Haotian's father was shocked that he lost to Yeling. The invigilator announces Yeling winner of this round. Yeling again obtained 10 XP after defeating opponent. Now, everyone starts cheering and appreciating Yeling that he is so strong. However, it was true as someone with a level 2 spirit energy chain cannot be weak. Everyone considers Yeling as a dark horse this year as they never heard of him before, while some people said that Yeling was always at the last place and thinks that this Yeling must be different, but it was not like that. All of the representative were appreciating the bravery of Yeling. Bai Tong says that it was way too risky maneuver when facing a flying type spirit pet, as if his timing was even a little off, he would have lost, while Miss Huo says that she thinks as if it was a well plan made by Yeling, specially for flying type spirit pet opponents. It was like that he especially leveled up his spirit energy chains to deal with flying type spirit pets. Now, finally all the 21 matches ended, but due to a double knockout in a match in last group, there were a total of 20 candidates remaining. The anchor tells all candidates to rest and prepare for the third round, which will begin soon. Ling never thought that he will get into top 20 so easily. New match were announced. Ling's next fight was against Young Family's Yi, but these type of opponent without flying type spirit pet were nothing in his eyes. Yi calls her spirit pet Frozen Grizzly Bear. It was a spirit pet with rare growth. Also ice type spirit pets have advantage in terms of innate skills. Ling calls Xueyu and the battle begins. Yi tells her Frost Bear to crush Xueyu, but Ling tells Xueyu to do whatever she wants. Xueyu attacks the Frost Bear at the speed of light. Yi understood that she is too fast for her Frost Bear and tells her bear to freeze Xueyu. As expected of rare growth spirit pet, it has grasped elemental skills, but still the Frost Bear was not able to freeze Xueyu, so they decided to change tactics, and then she tells her bear to use Ice Wave Assault. The bear uses this ability on Ling, but Ling already understood that they were targeting him, as they were not able to even touch Xueyu. Ling was prepared and easily blocks the Frost Bear's attack with his Spirit Energy Shield, but his shield almost broke from that attack. Level 1 Spirit Energy Shield is still a little weak in combat. Then now it was Xueyu's turn. She attacks the bear from above and smashes the bear on ground with her claws. Everyone was surprised as the giant Frost Bear was pummeled to ground in just one hit. Even Yi was surprised watching Xueyu's power. Yi becomes angry and tries to avenge his spirit pet. She uses her spirit energy chains to grab Xueyu. She even grabs Xueyu and then she tries to pull her, but shockingly she was not even able to move her an inch. Ling mocks her as she was trying to pull Xueyu with her pitiful low-level spirit energy chains. Ling tells Xueyu to finally end the battle. Then she grabs Frost Bear's head with her claws and throws him very high in the sky, and he was terrified as Xueyu single-handedly tossed the Frost Bear out of the arena. The invigilator announces Ling winner, as the frozen bear has fallen off the arena stage. Yi's father, the patriarch of Young Family, was very angry, as his daughter was defeated by an unknown guy. Everyone calms him by saying that her opponent was really very strong, and if it were their kids, they also would have lost badly. Then she tells Ling that she never thought she would be defeated by anyone like this, but she also congratulates Ling on winning and wishes him for his future performances. Ling also acknowledges her by appreciating her combat ability and tells that she still has a chance to enter top rank academy. She leaves arena saying thanks to Ling. Ling again obtained 10% XP and he also got one-time body strengthening, as he successfully got into top 10. Ling was feeling better, his fatigue was removed and his mind also felt refreshed due to the body strengthening. Now, the semi-finals were about to begin. The match UPS were also decided and showed on the screen. Ling's next match was in the Arena 3, the invigilator tells everyone to head towards their arena as the battle was about to begin. Ling's next match was against MANHUA. Ling had heard that he is very strong, but is compared to current Ling, he should not pose a threat. MANHUA enters the arena and calls his spirit pet. MANHUA's spirit pet was also looking like it was an undead type. Ling also calls Xueyu to meet their next opponent. The battle between MANHUA and Ling is start now. MANHUA's monster rushes toward Xueyu. Ling instructs Xueyu to prioritize her attacks on the spirit summoner, and also to pay attention to his spirit pet. It was much simpler that way. Both pets rushed toward face to face. The monster was going to strike Xueyu, but then Ling uses his spirit chain to bind him. MANHUA was wondering how can his spiritual chains could bind a spiritual monster warrior. Then Xueyu jumped over on MANHUA and attacked him. With a single strike, MANHUA admits defeat immediately. Ling advances to the semi-finals and MANHUA retains his current position. A head of the Li family household was shocked that the result was out in just 2 minutes and he defeat him with just one move. Then when Ling gets down the stage, suddenly a strange-looking girl comes to him and asks him if he was the Ling everyone was talking about. Ling asks her who is she. To begin with, the girl replies him that it does not matter who was she just warns Ling to stay away from Huo Xiener and then leaves. Ling could not fathom her. Then it was time for the semi-finals, the lady representative said. It was getting more and more exciting, while Lao says, it was Ye Ling against Li Shengtian, son of the famous Li family. Everyone was excited to see what he could do. Tian tells Ye Ling that, he has performed well so far, but he won't be able to face him. Ye Ling without wasting any time summoned Shui Yu. Li Tian also summons his rock warlord, as it was a rock-type spirit. Ye Ling tells Shui Yu that, she won't be able to absorb vitality this time. They both stand in arena and invigilator sign the battle begins. Li Tian asks his rock warlord to cast a stone prison for him, and said Ye Ling, to show some guts and break his rock prison. Some people were thinking that, it was a foolish move against someone like Ye Ling, and others believe that, it might be effective. Then Li Tian commands the rock warlord to show them how powerful you are. He punch on ground and a rock attack going toward Ye Ling. He hardly dodges it, and then Ye Ling tries to bind it with the spirit chain, but it was way too big if he failed to capture it. Ye Ling tells Shui Yu that, now, everything depends on her. She attacked him, but the defense of the rock creature was incredibly high. Ye Ling thinks, attacking it did not trigger Shui Yu's life-stealing skill either. He must think away. Then the rock warlord was about to strike Shui Yu. Ye Ling warned her. Shui Yu jumps at the right time to dodge it. The gap between their strength was very wide. People in the audience were rooting for Shui Yu. They had never seen such an effective, beautiful spirit pet. They were also wondering if Li Tian was stupid or was just hiding his true strength. He was looking very calm. Some believe that he was just scared. Li Tian was actually now ready to showcase his real strength. He commands his pet to transform into humanoid form. Ye Ling commands Shui Yu to retreat. Immediately, the monster stood up like a human and had 2 hands and 2 legs. Then a big blast happened in arena, and from Smaka Iron Man type finished armor appears. Li Tian claims that, it was the strongest skill of it. He tells Ye Ling that, by discarding the massive body, not only can it obtain a stronger physique, but also gain greater speed. Ye Ling were not really expecting that, Li Tian would have such a hidden move in his sleeve. He tells Shui Yu to go and test his strength. Both Shui Yu and the rock warlord again charges towards each other, and collides their punches and a shockwaves happens. It was looking like the rock warlord faced a little trouble. Warlord's armor little shattered. Li Tian could not believe that, he was losing in terms of strength. Now, he commands his warlord to attack again. Ye Ling also tells Shui Yu to finish the battle fast. So Shui Yu prepare to attack. She grab the warlord face and throw him in mid-air, and jump over him and hits the rock warlord with her deadly claws. The rock warlord crashes on the ground with a blast. While Li Tian was still in his rock prison watching all this, he shouted for warlord, and we see rock warlord out of arena lying on ground. People were whispering, it was not like a fight, it was more of a one-sided defeat. Everyone was confused. It was looking like Ye Ling was the number 1 student in the school. They were wondering, how was he a mediocre student before? They were wondering, if he intentionally concealed his true strength all this time, and only now he was showing his real power. Some envied him as he got Shui Yu as his spiritual pet, who was both visually appealing and also strong. They all dreamed of it at one time. It was like an impossible thing to achieve. Huo Ling tells Lao that, the son of the Li family was not bad either. Lao said, it was just Ye Ling was overpowered, and that looking at Shui Yu, it feels like her strength was probably already at rank 5, level 10, having such strength at that age was truly rare in this world. Then the mayor of city tells them both that, it feels like the final of this year will be exceptionally exciting. He believed in the mentors. Huo Ling agrees. Then Ye Ling was announced the winner of that match. After the rock warlord was knocked out, the system displays that for ranking in the top 3, he will receive an unknown contractable flying spiritual pet egg as the reward. Ye Ling was very happy as he was coincidentally thinking about wanting a flying spiritual pet. He also gained some more experience points. Now, he was wondering, how was Huo Xianer would be doing in her match. Then there was Zhang Shennan with flying beast Storm Falcon on his pet in mid-air. While facing Huo Earth Dragon a very hard time, she was very determined to go to the finals. She commands her storm falcon to finish the battle soon. Then with its wings, the storm falcon really creates tornadoes all around Huo and the earth dragon. It was not looking like she admitting defeat. Seeing all this, Yeling praise Shen Nan's strength and predict Huo is going to lose very soon. People believe that she will eventually succumb in front of Zhang Shen Nan. The earth dragon roars in panic. Huo was trying to tell it to hang in for a moment. But it did not happen. In the earth dragon really flat in arena in front of the storm falcon. Huo was looking very sad. She apologizes her father for performing poorly. Her father tells her that it was very natural that one side wins and another lose. He was just glad that she gave her very best. At least Yeling was also there. Now it was his turn to face the storm falcon. Zhang Shennan was in arena with his pet in mid-air, looking very determined to win. It was now time for the final match. The board announces that the first place winner will receive an additional special reward from the principal, who was also the city lord. Everyone was shocked to hear this. They thought that it was added just last minute. Then people also believed that Yeling would win it anyway. Everyone was sure about it. Yeling was just looking overpowered. Yeling tells Shuiyu that it was her final battle. He wanted to get the reward, no matter what. Zhang Shen commands her Storm Falcon King to fly high in the sky. The Storm Eagle King leaps up. The match officially begins. Yeling was shocked to see her pet. It was entirely different from the ones they had faced before. He was wondering why did he never noticed his spirit pet, or if it had evolved so much recently. Zhang Shen then commands her Storm Falcon King to attack and no need to hold back. The Storm Falcon King creates energy tempest that moving toward Shuiyu and Yeling. The tempest attacked from both sides and landed on them with big sound. Yeling creates spirit energy shield in response. It was a very powerful wind attack. Yeling tells Shuiyu to stay behind her and wait for his command. Zhang Shennan was just shocked to see that he could create a rank 2 spirit energy shield. She then commands her Storm Falcon King to release Wind Spirit Sonic Burst. The Storm Falcon moves his wings and fires some supersonic storm bullets at Yeling. People started changing their opinion in Zhang Shennan's favor now, but Bai Tong still believed that even though the Storm Falcon King was indeed very strong, Zhang Shennan was being very impatient. Yeling now finally commands Shuiyu to get ready to attack the Storm Falcon King. She attacked and a big wind smoke there, and when it cleared, Zhang Shen and everyone is shocked to see that with lightning speed Shuiyu gets behind Zhang Shennan and puts her claws on her neck. Zhang Shen then was shocked by the fact that she actually dodged the supersonic storm bullets, avoided Storm Falcon King's detection and reached her back. She admits defeat immediately. Then City Lord applauds for them both for putting up a good fight. He tells the other heads though that Yeling knew they could not win a head-on fight against the Storm Falcon King, so he kept it occupied while his spirit pet found an opening and went for the tamer Zhang Shennan. He was really impressed. It was something risky but Yeling executed it perfectly. Huo Ling and Hongzhu were also not expecting that the battle will be concluded so quickly. They all starts acting like Yeling will come to their academy. Then the result gets announced. Zhang Shangnan was second and Yeling was the winner of the tournament. Yeling was very happy that he could pull it off. Nobody thought or believed that a person from not any big family will win. In the end it was happening after many years. Huo also comes to Yeling and congratulate him for the victory. Yeling replies her that she did well in the semi-final too. He asks her, which academy will she choose? Huo asks him instead, which one would he choose? The board also congratulates Yeling for winning the tournament. Teacher Lin and Chenzai also cheers for him. Teacher Lin tell him that he brought glory to their class and entire Tianhui Academy. Yeling tells them that he will keep working hard and will achieve more in the future. The system then shows him that for defeating the Storm Falcon King, he has received a new skill rebirth. It could be given to any spirit pet. It would allow his spirit pet to reborn on the verge of death. There were some minor drawbacks as well. Yeling was really impressed by the skill, but it was looking like it was not suitable for Shuiyu. Chenzai was very excited and patted him and tells Yeling that The big screen will now display the students selected by the top 4 top guardian spirit academies. The result was out. There was something wrong with it. Ling was in every academy's list. Now, it was the students' call to choose the one they would like to go in. People thought that Zuyuhu Academy never recruits any male students. But even they opted for Ling, they were sure that it was not permanent for Zuyuhu Academy to recruit males, and Ling was just an exception. The other girl were sure that they would have picked the Zuyuhu Academy if they had the option, but they did not. While Ling was wondering about which academy he should choose, Lu Feng from the Qinglong Academy comes to him and offers him that if he joins their academy, then he will receive 5% more resources than every other regular student, and at the same time he promises that they will let him enter the dungeon 3 times a year. Everyone was just shocked to hear the privileges he was getting. Then Bai Tong from the Baihu Academy also offers him that they will give him 8% more resources and he can enter the dungeon 5 times every year, and that the condition will continue until he will graduate. Lu Fang was pissed that he was interrupting his conversation with Ling. Then Huo Ling also comes there and tells him that their Xianwu Academy will promise him 10% more resources than everyone else, and he could enter the dungeon 5 times every a year. She also adds that his classmate Huo Xianer will also be in their academy, so that they can still be classmate in the future. Ling was blushing and wondering, why was she mentioning Huo Xianer in the middle, and Hongzhu smiled and said, since it's like this, she won't say much more. Zuyuhu Academy also offers Ling 15% more resources and a chance to enter the dungeon once every month, but most importantly, he will be the first and only male student since the establishment of the Zuyuhu Academy. The others were feeling so jealous. He would be not only surrounded by girls all the time but will also get 12 chances to enter the dungeon a year. Zuyuhu Academy was really on the top of its game. Ling was ready with his decision. He wanted to enter dungeons as much as possible, so he locks the Zuyuhu Academy. Other guy dreamed of something like this. So now all of a sudden Ling was like the idol guy for everyone. Chen Zai congrats his friend and tells him that even he was jealous of him. Then Hongzhu comes there and tells Ling that he made the right choice. She tells him that he will get 1 day to prepare, and then the next day night their airship will be waiting for him at the east gate of the city. Ling tells her that he will be there and also thanks her for the offer. She also promises him that he won't regret his decision to choosing this academy. Then teacher Ling comes and informs Ling that the city lord wants him to meet him at his office. Ling goes to the head office of the Tianhui Academy. City lord also congratulates him on obtaining the first place and entering the Zuyuhu Academy. He tells him that due to his excellent performance, the school has decided to reward him. He gives him a card and tells him that it has 300,000 federal credits in it and it will be his now, and he also gives him a high-rank evolution material in a box from his side as a gift. Ling thanks him and promises him that he will keep working harder and won't ever embarrass the Tianhui Academy. He opens the black box and there was an immortal bone in it. It was a top-grade material that only drops from strong undead monsters. Even though Shuiyu could not use it now, he needed it for her final ultimate evolution. He tells City Lord that it was too valuable for him to keep. The City Lord replies that now he has no use for it, so it would be better to pass it to some young potential student like him. He tells him that it might help him to bring glory to the Tianhui Academy in the future. Then he tells him to go back and rest as he might be tired after the assessment. City Lord's assistant asks him, why did he give the immortal bone to him, even after it was so much valuable to him? He replies that it was a lot less valuable than Ling's future. After Ling gets out of there, Chen Zai tells him that he has become a superstar now. Ling replies him, it does not matter and they are still best friends. He tells him to train hard and become stronger together with him in the future. Huo Xianer also shows up and congratulates Ling for achieving his goal. Then Chen Zai tells them that he will leave and let them chat alone. After that Ling also congrats her for getting into the Xianwu Academy. She tells him to not act as if he cares, She also wanted to get into the Zuyuhu Academy, but it remained a dream. Then she leaves, telling him to not slack off at the academy. Ling wonders, if she came to him to just say that. Then the next night, the Zuyuhu Academy airship, Ling gets aboard to get to the Zuyuhu Academy. All the girls there had an eye on him, they were judging his looks. Hongzhu tells him that the Holy Phoenix City was to the south of the Tianhui city. It might take some time before they gets there, so she tells Ling to enjoy the scenery along the way. Then the airship captain Yu Hai comes and tells Hongzhu that they were detecting something troublesome on their flight route. Ahead there were a group of flying monsters, they did not know what they were, it was unclear. Their scouts were conducting further observations, their number was large but their individual energy was not much strong, so Hongzhu tells them to make all the necessary arrangements. They notifies all the tamers in the airship to get to the elevator cabin and drive away all the monsters. Yunyi was also there, she tells Ling to reach the elevator cabin. There Hongzhu tells them that they were Black Crow's rank 1 monsters, so they were perfect for some battle experience. She tells Ling and Yunyi to summon their sprint pets, they both gets ready with their summons pets. Yunyi pets was raging at Shuiyu. Yunyi tries to calm him down by telling that she was no longer their enemy. Then suddenly the system shows a challenge to Ling. It was to kill as many crows as possible within a limited time. The reward was based on the final result. The crows starts coming at them. Shuiyu on his command goes on a kill streak and Grizzly Bear also killing them. All the girls, they were impressed. There was a black smoke above, it was the aura of the Black Crow King. Ling knew that killing it will give him more rewards. He commands Shuiyu to kill it. Hongzhu tells him to not be so impulsive, as Shuiyu's current level was not enough to fight the Black Crow King yet, but Ling tells her to not get so worried, as he will handle it, but she does not listen to him and herself summons her fiery hawk. It was a rank 7, level 1 beast. Many of the students were seeing a rank 7 pet for the first time. As the fiery hawk gets near the crows, they all tries to escape, including the Crow King. Ling tells Shuiyu to stop the Crow King. So Shuiyu strikes the Crow King with her poisonous claw, but even after that the Black Crow King still somehow escapes. The system shows Ling that he has received 3 experienced crystals and 1 growth crystal. Ling did not even know what does it mean. All the students returns to their room and takes some rest. After knowing the job of both the crystals, Ling was very happy. He could now evolve Shuiyu using them, so without wasting any time, he uses them on Shuiyu. Her clothes starts changing and she evolves once again. Now, she was stronger than ever before, and the growth rate had also already reached the uncommon as well. She now gets flying skills and blood manipulation skill, and also now she reached rank 2, level 1. Then Ling also receives a mysterious item. He gets a talent card. It was something that allows the user to replicate the talents of their spirit pet, and it's 5-time copying opportunities. He was very happy that, now, he could actually use Shuiyu's talents. He excitedly grabs Shuiyu and tells her that they should try it right away. The card installs and he copied 2 Shuiyu's talents and he had 3 uses left. There was even more exciting stuffs. It was now time to get the second spirit pet. The egg was hatched and with his blood, Ling forms a contract. The spirit pet awakens and the show airship was filled with a bright light. Everyone wonders what was it. It was actually the second spirit pet of Ling, which was a phoenix. It was a rank 1 of level 9 from the beginning. Ling uses the talent of rebirth on it. Then Ling decides to call him Fengju. To his surprise, the phoenix replies him that he likes the name. Ling was happy to hear that she can speak. Then the teacher finally announces them that now they will arrive at the holy city. They all arrived at holy city. All girls looks excited to see this. Then teacher Hong said, the first place we visit will be the place where you study in the future, the Vermilion Academy. Miss Hong informed Ling that, because of first male in history, academy prepare for you a separate dormitory. Ling happy to hear that. Then a car top in front of Miss Hong and greet Miss Hong to welcome back. There is girl that she come here for Ling on order of principal. She is surprised to see Ling actually a male. Miss Hong explained everything to her that all this is within the permission. Then Ling go with that girl to meet headmistress. There is big news for girls too. There is a male students in their academy, they all gossiping about Ling. Then on a big screen Ling first place in exam appears, the girls wondering, how much is he strong? Ling go to office of headmistress with Miss Hong. He is in the office. Headmistress welcome him, as the first male student in Vermilion Academy's history. She further said, she heard you already have a rank 2 skill while you were rank 1, is that true? Ling says, yes. Then with the Ling future potential headmistress put him in the Vermilion class. Headmistress hope for good performance. After that they both left there. Outside the office Ling asked Miss Hong about Vermilion class, which Miss Hong said, it's a elite class, all the student in that class are excellent, it can be said to have crouching tigers and hidden dragons. After that Miss Hong says Ling to go to class. Ling enter the classroom, all girls gossiping about him, everyone making their assumption to join the Vermilion class. While sitting on last bench Ling blushing because all girls' attention on him. Then a lady teacher come and order silence. She introduce herself Gao Yu as in charge of Vermilion class daily matter management. She said, academic training will be conducted in groups, each group have 3 to 4 people and a assigned counselor. She divided them into groups and last Ling is group 1, and his counselor is Miss Hong Xiu. Then teacher said to all girls to go to their assigned group and conduct training. Ling go outside there, 2 girls calling him, they are his teammates. Ling greet them and they comfort each other. After that Miss Hong came, who is the counselor of their team. She said, she knows that you guys are elites, you have already learned what you need to know about taming spiritual pets, so she will jump straight into the training. Then 2 girls training with basketball while Ling sitting there. Miss Hong come there and said, as for Ling training, the academy will fulfill the promise from before that she handed him, the hidden realm card, that he can use it once in a month to enter dungeon. Miss Hong said, there, he can find all sorts of good things. It's the fastest way to increase your strength. Ling thanks her. Ling very excited to enter Secret Realm. He reached Secret Realm Hall, where all the secrets owned by Zuyuhu Academy are stored. He enter into hallway, in front of him there is a guard. He asked, how to get to the Secret Realm? She said, nonsense, what are new students doing in the Secret Realm? Then Ling show him Secret Realm card. Then she said, follow her, this way, the entrance to the Secret Realm is at the end of the corridor. He follow her there. She says that, this is the entrance to the Secret Realm, different stone doors represent Secret Realm of different levels. She advise him to choose lowest levels as safety precaution. Then Ling stand in front of the second level of the Secret Realm door that will definitely be much more dangerous. The exploration time for the Secret Realm is 3 days, he thought, to spend 3 days alone in the second level Secret Realm. Do he has what it takes? Then system appeared that says explore the second realm and received an unknown reward. Ling thinks, since the system task has been issued, he'll choose the second level. He thinks, he must make Fengju advance to the second rank, while the lady guard said, you must be vigilant at all times. And then he entered the Secret Realm. Other side of Secret Realm, there are indeed the monster everywhere, both first and second ranks, there are many monster around him. Then he start exploration. He summoned Fengju and Shuiyu at once and said to Fengju, we have important things to do. Then Fengju sit on the shoulder of Ling said, where is this place? This isn't home. Ling said, this is the second level Secret Realm, especially prepared for you to level up, you need to perform well and quickly advance to second rank. Then Ling trying to touch her, but then Fengju take off her leg and said, take your hands off of me, don't touch me casually. Then she fly above and said, just leveling up, no big deal. Ling says, you won't even let him touch you, you really have a fiery temper. Shuiyu is better, said to Shuiyu to let's go, we're getting to work. While Fengju spread her wings of fire around sky, and start flying toward monster while all the monster running from her, then she throw fireball on the monsters and blast them and proud herself and make a heroic pose. After seeing all this Ling said, Wow, Fengju, the effect of your transformation is a bit too flashy, isn't it? This is a secret realm, making such a commotion will attract the entire monster. Then wolf come there behind, he a wasteland wolf leader, second rank, he came near them with his wolf pack. Ling was little nervous to see that, the second rank wolf leader and a bunch of first rank wasteland wolves, then a system screen appears that, the system task could not have come at a better time. Fengju, let him see the power of the phoenix, he and Shuiyu won't interfere. Then Fengju said, a bunch of ants, this lady can easily eliminate them, you all better stay away, be careful not to get hurt. And flying toward wolf leader, then wolf leader also open his mouth with fire and start a fire attack, he throw flames on Fengju. Ling nervously said, it's turn out to be a fire attribute wolf leader. Then a big blast happened on Fengju, the wolf leader shocked see that Fengju is not hurt at all, with laughing Ling said, he almost forgot, Fengju has an advanced fire immunity talent, then he pointed towards wolf leader and said, fire doesn't affect her at all, you are in tough time now. Then Fengju eyes turn into green and she said, burn to ashes. And then he throw her hellfire towards wolf leader and he surround with green hellfire. Ling scratches his face and said, this is quite scary. The entire pack along with the leader are burning, then Fengju returned to her normal form, the wolf leader dead along with his pack. Ling said, that attack burned the entire area as well, it's way too powerful. Then there are many system message appears that said, automatically pick up. Ling obtained wild wolf's claw, wolf's heart, and a novice rank fire crystal. Ling said, Fengju are so strong. Then Fengju said, didn't she tell you to stay far away? Ling said, it's alright, we are fine, anyway, let's leave this place and go find some more monsters, while Fengju on flying above said, you only know how to order her, do you know how tired she is after fighting? Then in the university dormitory many girls talking about Ling that, why Ling didn't train with us? Then a girl said, she heard from teacher Hong that Ling went to the dungeon. Another girl was shocked and said, what? He went into the dungeon alone? No way, he's just a freshman, they won't let him enter the dungeon alone. Then that girl said, the dungeon is a very dangerous place, without a teacher to accompany us, it's easy to get hurt. Then another girl said, why did teacher Hong let him enter the dungeon alone? Then in teacher room teacher Gao Yu is shouting on Miss Hong that, she let a freshman enters the alone? What were you thinking? Miss Hong said, relax, Gao Yu, she is his instructor and she is not worried, so you shouldn't be worried either. Then teacher Gao Yu said, alright then instructor Hong, tell her, what's going on with Ling? Why did you let him enter the dungeon alone? Then Miss Hong said, don't worry, with Ling's combat ability, rank 1 dungeon isn't a problem for him at all. Then teacher Gao Yu said, you are too naive, she asked about it, and it seemed Ling actually entered a rank 2 dungeon. Miss Hong said, it still isn't cause for concern, since Ling already a rank 2 spirit tamer. Then Miss Gao Yu annoyed and said, what? Fine, you win. She is too busy to care about your teaching methods. Then she left the room and on door she said, if anything unexpected happens, you will be the one explain it to the headmistress. Miss Hong thinks, that don't disappoint her Ling. Then Ling sneezing in secret realm, he said, why is he sneezing? Does someone miss him? Then Shuiyu saw the monster and told Ling. Ling saw there and said, what monsters are those? He can't see them clearly from here. Then he said, Fengju, will you fly him and Shuiyu over there to see what those monsters are? Fengju said, then, you must make her delicious food tonight. Ling agree with that. Then they both ride on Fengju, she flying above while Ling happily said, this is awesome. It's feel great to be flying in the sky like this. Then they reached there and saw from above that a group of monster hunting a prey. Ling thinks, look like the blazing lions are hunting an earth-rending bull, he said, they all are rank 2 monsters, so, they will be just let them fight each other for now. then one of blazing lion jump over the earth bull, but earth bull used his skill, and with moo sound, there was earth wall suddenly appeared around him. The blazing lion hit that wall with his fire skill, that wall cracked and there's a big blast happens. Ling said, rank 2 monsters can control elements and use them to attack, none of them are weak at all. It seem like rank 2 dungeon isn't so simple. But he don't have time to watch them fight till the end, his time in the dungeon is limited and valuable. Then he said to Xueyu that, use this chance to sneak attack and finish them off. Then Xueyu jumps from above to the blazing lion and there is a big blast happened. One of the blazing lion noticed that, then above Ling said to Fengju that, while Xueyu attacking from below, they'll attack from above and kill them all before they even realize. Fengju agree on it. On ground Xueyu used her blood control skill, stand in the middle of the battle, she start walking towards bull, then one of the blazing lion roared to Xueyu and jumps upon her, but Xueyu kill him instant with fastest speed and stand beside while her hand is burning. Ling said, fortunately, she can regenerate quickly. Then Xueyu hand that is regenerating at same time, then all blazing lions saw above Fengju, that she spread her wings of fire all over the sky, and below ground Xueyu running toward blazing lion and killed him with his claws, and look happy. Ling said to Fengju that, it looks like if you want to advance to the second tier, you will have to participate in battles, otherwise Xueyu will kill all the monsters. Fengju angrily said, got it, you talk too much, isn't it just leveling up? It's just too easy. After that they all sitting around fire, Ling sitting on a log and eating meat and said, time in the secret realm is precious, we should rest for a while and then get up. Fengju said, can't she rest for a bit? She is not a zombie, she is tired, while Ling said, okay, you call the shots. Then Xueyu stand up and called, Ling, then Ling asked, what's wrong? She said, over there, something. Then they both go near a shining object. Ling said, what's that thing? Let's check it out. They go there. Ling said, what kind of fruit is this? It doesn't seem to be in the Federation handbook, but it look very rare. Then there's behind something is moving while Ling not pay attention to him. Then sudden Xueyu shouted and grab him, go away. Then there is 2-headed green python hissing on them. Then the twin-head python open his mouth and rush toward them. Ling bring out his spirit chain and said, seriously? Is this necessary? Then he threw spirit chain on twin-head python to hold him, and then he tied that green python and said, a second-tier spirit chain seems incapable of binding the 2-headed green python. After captured and hold him little bit, but twin-headed python start struggling to break spirit chain, and then slowly the spirit chain is start to break and all broke apart. Then Ling called, Fengju to help, then she come there with blazing the sky around. The twin-headed green python also angrily approached toward them. Then Fengju enraged said, so annoying, can't she has a peaceful rest? And then she thrown his flame towards twin-headed green python. He back off from there, and then there is a beam of fire hit the ground that's around Ling and Xueyu. Ling said, wow, Fengju, why didn't you use this protection skill earlier? Fengju angrily said, wake me up, and you will pay the price. Then she used her hellfire and approached towards to twin-headed python, while Ling said, Fengju, be careful, don't burn that fruit. While hitting python she said, got it, you talk too much. And then a big blast happened there, all around the trees are burned to ashes, and that twin-headed green python was burning all over his body while screaming towards Ling and Xueyu, they standing there in protection of fire circle. Then that twin-headed python approached to Ling with open his big jaws to devour him, and Ling confidently approaching toward him, but twin-headed python died at last. Ling said, now we have snake meat to eat again. And then he picked up that fruit and said, he want to see what kind of rare fruit this is. Then a system massage inform him, it's a fruit of the dead spirit. Ling was surprised because this is exactly the next level material Xueyu need to evolve. This secret reel is indeed a great place, it was worth the trip. And then he ran from there and said, Xueyu and Fengju, that let's make the most of our time, we can't waste the secret realm, where we get to kill more monster each month. Then day 1, Yaling spirit chain are binding many 3-headed birds monster and Shueyu ready to kill. Then day 2 Shueyu killing the 4 arms gorillas while Yaling shielding himself, and day 3, Yaling is running from fire-tailed monkey and he asking for help to Shueyu and Fengju. He said, hurry up and attack. Then we saw Fengju and Shueyu. You level up second tier second level and second tier third level. Yaling said, not bad, this trip is worth it, your level are almost there. Then Yaling saw his watch and said, time flies so fast, we have to leave the secret realm soon. Then there's a portal open. Teacher Gao Yu reached principal office to report that, the secret realm administrator reported that the environment of the second state secret realm of Dark Forest was burned by hellfire, the vegetation was severely damaged, and it need time to recover. Principal asks, what happened? Miss Gao Yu said, according to the administrator, only one student entered the secret realm before, he was Yaling who just enrolled. Principal holding a crystal said, Yaling? This is interesting. Then she said, tell the administrator to close the secret realm first, and send some restoration to deal with it. Then Gao Yu said, okay. Then principal, how should we punish this Yaling? Principal said, no, don't punish him, she has her own arrangements. Yaling coming from there. Then 2 girls talking that, isn't he that Yaling? He is a big shot. Another girl said, who would have thought? He is being dominating the headlines on the official website these days. Then all girls watching him from behind, and one of them said, the first male student in history, entered the secret realm on the first day of school. There is a lot of news about it, the pictures looked okay, but now that she seen in a person, she fall in love. Yaling thinks, will he be noticed like this wherever he go in the future? He is not used to it. Then a system message appeared that, the task is complete, rewarded with a skill Eye of Truth. Yaling thinks, Eye of Truth? Interesting, although he can also check information through the system, but many data are incomplete. Let's try this Eye of Truth. Then he hold a maple leaf and used that skill. Then he saw whole information about it. Then he saw a girl in front of him, and with Eye of Truth her all his information is coming in front of him. He thinks, goodness, how come there are even measurements data? Then he nervously run from there and thinks, this system gives him such an unconventional skill, it's incredible. Even though it cost 5 spirit power each time, he'll hold off for now. Then he call Miss Hong. She smiled and said, you came out of the secret realm. How do you feel? Yaling said, it feels pretty good. Where are the others 2 students? Miss Hong said, well, she has something to tell you. Just now the principal talked to her and decided to put you directly in the 2nd grade. Yaling said, directly promoted to 2nd grade? Miss Hong said, yes, and hand over the sum paper and said, he practical task classes in the 2nd grade will be the more frequent, so you need to prepare some equipment material. Then she said, this is the admission bonus she promised you before. And then Yaling asks, what is this? She said, he address above in the most famous equipment material shop in the holy city, Tianyu Pavilion. You can go there and buy the equipment and material you need. Then Miss Hong said, she also have to go and find the 2nd grade teacher to arrange your task. You can only go to by yourself. Then she left there. Now, Yaling reached Tianyu Pavilion. He saw and said, wow, it's look like a treasure house. Then on the gate a girl greeting everyone to welcome. Then Yaling entered Tianyu Pavilion. One of lady approached to Yaling and said, hello, students, do you need any help? Yaling said, hello, he want to sell some materials, who should he look for? The sales hall is on the 2nd floor, but she want to ask you first, are you a student Zhuju Academy? Yaling said, yes. Then that lady adjust her glass and said, oh. As far as she know Academy only recruits female students, you are obviously lying, she said, sorry, Tianyu Pavilion never trades with people of unknown identity. Yaling said, he is really a student of Zhuju Academy. That lady shouted on him that sorry, please leave. Then Yaling said, how can you be like this? Then a girl approached towards them asked, "What's going on?" That lady turned and said, "Miss." Then that girl approached towards Yeling and put ahead her hand said, "Her name is Shen Menjao, she is also a student of Zhuju Academy, but she is in 3rd grade. Yeling said, "Hello, senior." Then Shen said, "Don't call her senior, just call her by her name." She said, "What materials do you want to sell? Take them all out, this Tianyu pavilion is opened by our family, she will give you a good price." Then Yeling opened his ring and then there are many materials on the tables. Yeling said, "These materials are all collected by him from the 2nd level secret realm." Then she said, "They are all good. Rumors are true, you ventured into the 2nd level secret realm by yourself." Then she saw a thing and said, "Wow, is this emerald pearl?" Then she picked up that and said, she has been searching for it for a long time, her poison mist vine needs it to evolve. Then Yeling said, "He don't have any grass type spirit pets, it's useless for him, he'll give it to you." Then she thanks him for that. She said, "Old Zhao, calculate the value of these emerald pearl and other materials in Alliance Point, you must give a good price." While old Zhao said, "Okay, don't worry, miss." Yeling said, he liked to purchase some ordinary equipment and low-level material. She said, "No problem, everything will be available to you at discount." Then they coming out from pavilion and Shen said, "The equipment and material you purchased will be delivered to your doorstep, you are always welcome here." Yeling said, "Thank you, he'll head back to school now, goodbye, senior sister." Then old Zhao said, "Miss, you have never treated anyone like this before, you don't have a crush on this student, do you?" Then Miss Shen said, "Old Zhao, watch more news, mind your own business, it's good for you." Then in the academy all girls talking about that, "Have you heard? Yeling are going to be promoted to the 2nd grade. Then another girl regretful said, "What? How annoying, the only boy in our class is leaving." Then another girl said, "No, it's the only boy in the whole academy leaving our class." Then a girl said, "Really? Then she'll lose her chance to confess." Then Yeling walking toward academy on a street and thinks about the material sold for 450,000 alliance points, buying equipment and material cost 170,000 alliance points. Then someone approaches towards him and she asks him, "Are you Yeling?" And Yeling said he is, and then suddenly that girl jumps over him to attack. Yeling said, "What the hell? Who are you? Why did you attack him as soon as you approached?" And he dodges its kick attack and said, "Classmate, who are you? He don't know you at all." That girl said, "You don't need to know her," and prepare another attack and again jumps with her kick and said, "Just fight her first and then we can talk." Yeling running while said, "Nonsense, he has other things to do, he don't have time to fight with you, this is really nonsense." That girl clenched her fist and angrily said, "Yeling, you bastard, don't let her see you again." Then after running Yeling reached where Miss Hong is. Miss Hong asked, "What's wrong?" Yeling said, "Sorry, teacher, he late, he met weird person on the way and had some trouble." Miss Hong smiled and said, "You have to get used to being noticed, after all, you are the only boy in the whole academy, now that you have been promoted to the 2nd grade, she will introduce your new tutor to you later." Then a new tutor approached them and said, "Hong Xiu, you didn't even come to see her after coming back, are you that busy? She just finished a mission not long ago, she is Li Xingjiao." She said, "You didn't even come to greet her." The Miss Hong introduced her as Yeling's new tutor for the 2nd grade. Miss Hong said to Li Xing that she is handing him over to you, you have to train him well for her. Then Yeling greet his new tutor. Then Miss Li said, "So, you are Yeling?" Then she get near him and grab his chin and said, "You are quite handsome, it's no wonder all the girls in the school are talking about you, but your courage is lacking, how can you follow her in the future?" Then Miss Hong said, "All right, don't tease him anymore, she have some things else to do, she'll leave first." Then Miss Li said to Yeling that, "He's quite shy, let's go, she'll take you to meet your classmate." they are even more powerful than him. Then there is a big commotion happening there. A girl said, "Have you heard? The only boy in the school is coming to our group." Another girl said, "Really? Could it be true? It's a ranking system for the second year, and he's just a new student." Then Miss Lee said, "All right, stop talking, she is brought someone for you." Then one girl said, "This should be junior brother Yeling, right? Welcome." Then teacher Lee Seeing said, "The second grade's performance assessment is ranked, everything's is based on actual combat, ranking is the score. This in your sister Zhao Siyu is the first place in the second grade." Yeling surprised to see, then she raised her hand towards him and said, "Junior brother Yeling, hello, she is Zhao Siyu, the chief of the second grade." Yeling watching her carefully and thinks, how come this group feels so weird? They are too enthusiastic, right? Then he opened his skill and all the information about that girl is appear in front of him. He thinks second tier 8th level, and 2 rare spirit pets, the strength is really extraordinary. The Yeling said, then he has a question, if the performance assessment is based on actual combat, if he directly defeats senior sister Zhao, will he become the first place in the second grade? Then teacher Li laughed and said, "Yeling, your idea is good, but senior sister Siyu is very powerful." Then she said to Siyu to tell about our second grade rules, she has to go to report this actual combat mission to the dean. The Siyu said, "Junior brother, Yeling, according to the ranking rules, if you want to challenge her, you must be the top 10, but you don't even have a rank now." Yeling said, "Now he see, it seemed that this ranking system is a bit troublesome." Siyu said, "Not troublesome as long as you can beat her." Then previously that girl appeared and said, "As long as you can beat her, she will give you the third place of the second grade, if you lose get out of Zhejiang class." Then Yeling shouted that, "You are not the one who stopped him halfway." Then Miss Siyu said, "This is Wu Xian, the senior sister holding the position of second grade, third place." Wu Xian said, "So what do you say? Are you brave enough to accept her challenge?" Miss Siyu said, "Isn't a bit too much for Wu Xian to bully the new enrolled junior like that?" Then girl said, "Yes, what's the big deal? Yeling is even putting his current status at stake, if he loses, he will have to withdraw from the Suzaku class." That little girl also said, "Then he shouldn't accept the challenge, right?" While Yeling said, "He accepts the challenge." Then Wu Xian said, "All right." Then she said, "Then let's her show you," and called, "Thunderstorm. Come out." Then her background something is coming from there. Miss Yu said that Wu Xian is getting serious right from the start. Then a thunder bear appear, he is thunderous bear, second tier, level 7, in Xian background. Then everyone talking about thunderous bear's strength and how strong he is. Then Yeling saw all the information about Wu Xian, he thinks, a second tier, level 7 spirit, along with thunder fist and phantom shadow as a spirit techniques, seems a bit difficult to deal with. Then Yeling said, "Come out," and Shuiyu appeared from behind. She stand in front of Yeling, then all the girl talking about that this looks too good. Even some girl compare better than her, just too much she feel disgust why is she not as looking good, and another girl said, "That outfit look really nice, would she look as beautiful if she also wear it?" And then Wu Xian said, "Aren't you going to summon a second spirit pet? Or do you think a humanoid spirit can handle the thunderous bear on its own?" Yeling said, "No need to worry, senior sister, bring it on." Then she ordered her thunderous, to go and tear her apart. That thunderous bear runs towards Shuiyu with his big sharp claws. Then Yeling said, "Shuiyu, handle it yourself." She said, "All right." Then they both fight with their fist each other, and then big blast happened and all over dust spread throughout. Then Shuiyu little surprised that her attack not even a scratched on that thunderous bear. Yeling thinks, "Wow, tough skin and thick flesh," while Wu Xian said, "The real show is yet to come." While that thunderous bear and Shuiyu fighting each other, the Wu Xian order his bear thunderbolt armor and then big thunder strike him from above, and everyone talking about such a powerful flow of energy, while Yeling and Shuiyu watching his transformation. all over the energy engulfing him, and then there is all over his body covered into armor. Miss EU said, this thunderbolt armor not only possesses strong defensive capability, but also inflicts damage upon contact with the opponent's armor. That little girl said, this power is truly terrifying. Can it be anything but terrifying? The thunderous bear is purely a power-type spirit pet. Combined with the destructive force of thunder, the power of its punch can be unimaginable. She just wonder if beautiful Shueyu can withstand it. Then Shui jumps towards that thunderous bear and punch him and throw him on the ground, and stand beside bear. Miss EU shock said, Yelling spirit pet got hit by the lightning backlash. Now, her hand are practically useless. Then Wu Xian see that Shueyu's rapid resignation skill activate, and her arm is now regenerating, while Yelling thinks, they still don't know that Shueyu has super speed regeneration. Wu Xian gritted her teeth and said, she underestimated you, they force her to do this. Then she called, Phantom Lizard go. Then a green lizard appeared and going towards Yelling. Then in the crowd someone said, oh my goodness. The thunderous bear actually being suppressed? While Yelling standing there waiting for something, then a girl said, it seemed like Yelling's spirit pet is too strong, the frequency of its attack hasn't changed at all, it feel like a machine. No way, could it be that Wu Xian will lose to Yelling? It's almost unimaginable. Then Miss Shen seeing think about Phantom Lizard, it's one thing to bully the weak, but to bully the outnumbered as well. This junior brother Yelling is truly pitiful, and that Phantom Lizard is concealed about himself, no one can see him. While Wu Xian smirked and said, it's time. Phantom Lizard take him down. Then Phantom Lizard attacked Yelling from behind and jumps over him. Then Yelling suddenly moved from there and avoid his attack. He said, finally, you make your move, he has been waiting for you. While Wu Xian said, impossible, he couldn't have discovered the Phantom Lizard. While Yelling said, fortunately, he has been keeping the Eye of Truth open. Then he called, Fengju. She appeared on flying in behind Yelling. He said, it's your turn to step in and resolve the battle. Then Fengju fly above Phantom Lizard and throw his flame towards him. Wu Xian called, his Phantom Lizard, come back quickly. While Fengju used his hellfire on him, that Phantom Lizard is running from there. Then Miss Yu was surprised to see that spirit pet, while Fengju roaring in the sky and with hellfire, there are little hellfire bird shape appears around. Miss Yu said, danger, everyone, quickly disperse. Then Fengju blasting her hellfire everywhere, the thunderous bear and Phantom Lizard running from there to save their life. Wu Xian kneel down and scared while her pets are burning behind. She is so scared and terrifying while Fengju flying above in front of her. Then there 3 girls running while Miss Hong and teacher Gao Yu appeared. Miss Gao Yu said, this is the Divine Phoenix. Han Xiu, did you know about it beforehand? Miss Hong said, stop guessing, it's her first time seeing it too. Then there Yelling embarrassedly asked to withdraw your divine power. He didn't ask you to go all out, Fengju said, why you didn't say so earlier? Then Wu Xian said that she concedes. She'll willing to accept the loss. From now on you are the 3rd rank of 2nd year. Then everyone is praising him for his divine pet. Then a system screen appears that after completing the task he rewarded with a mysterious item. Then all girls running toward him. One girl asked, Yelling, how did you become so strong? Then all the girls surround him and asking the same question, and some asked his contact number also. Then Miss Hong call, Yelling that come with her for a moment. He come there. Miss Hong said, when did this happen? You actually obtained the Divine Phoenix? He said, it's also a recent event. Miss Hong said, teacher Li received a new mission and they want you to go back, prepare immediately. Yelling said, alright. Then he's in his dormitory, he opened mysterious box, he found crystallized phoenix blood. Carrying it can dispel coldness and keep the user alert, and also summon a high-level phoenix. It can be used 3 times only.